It's Randy Orton. Oh,
I have voices in my head. They counsel me. They understand. They talk to me.
Hey guys, what's up? Mr. Beetle Lane Nano here. I'm going to be doing my predictions for NXT Takeover the End. And you know what? This card looks really good actually. I think there's potential to have some really great matchups on here. I think there's not really one match where I think, oh, this could be not that great or whatever. So without further ado, let's get right into the card. So I think the first match we'll look at is the debut of Andrade Cien Almas facing Ty Dillinger. And I'm pretty confident that Andrade Cien Almas will probably win here since it is his debut. Although they haven't really hyped him up that much. He's literally had one promo, and that was the week before Takeover the End. Although to be fair, I haven't really been keeping up with NXT that much, so maybe they have been hyping it up, but maybe I missed it. But the only time I really recall seeing it was on the most recent episode of NXT. So, but for Ty Dillinger, I do like Ty Dillinger. I think he's definitely a guy who can get over quite easily with that Perfect 10 gimmick. The people really enjoy it. People love it. And I could potentially see him maybe getting a push later on in the future. Because I definitely think, he's solid in ring. He's got that gimmick that's really over. And I just think it could really work with him as a face. But I do think Andrade Cien Almas will win. I don't know how he'll fare because I've honestly never really seen the guy wrestle. So maybe some of you guys have. I have no idea. But that's pretty much my kind of thoughts on it. I think Cien Almas will probably win. And I'm interested to see where he goes and how he fits into the NXT roster. Next, we'll look at the NXT Tag Title match between American Alpha and The Revival. Now, I think this could again be a really good match. I could possibly even see them topping the match they had from Takeover Dallas, and that was a great opener, really fun. So who knows, maybe they can go just a step further and top that, which would be incredible. I think, obviously, I'm loving American Alpha. I think they're definitely, arguably, my favourite tag team on, in the WWE. Up there with New Day, definitely. I also really like the Revival, actually. I think I really kind of got into them when they won the tag titles. I think that's when they really started to actually show more character and more personality. Because before that, they were just kind of a step bog standard tag team, and then it wasn't really until they started feuding with the Vaudevillains and got the belts that I actually started to realize, oh, these guys actually are pretty enjoyable, pretty talented as well. But I don't think the Revival will get the belts back here. I know they lost to Tommaso Ciampa and Gargano on the most recent episode of NXT, but I just don't see them getting the belts back. I just think American Alpha have just got them, so I think they're probably going to have a nice run with the belts, which I think could be cool. Because, obviously I love American Alpha, and they're just one of those teams who are just so fun to watch, and just really over as well. But I guess I could see maybe the Revival getting the belts, because they did, obviously that loss made them look quite weak going into the event, so maybe you could argue that would mean that they'd win, but I personally just think American Alpha will probably win, and I honestly want them to win, because I think it'll probably be the best for everyone, really. Next, we'll look at Shinsuke Nakamura versus Austin Aries, and this should be an amazing match. Like, I'm really looking forward to it. I think this is the match I'm looking forward to the most, just because this match is going to be amazing. Both guys are just incredible in-ring talents. Nakamura had an amazing debut match against Sami Zayn, a classic matchup that I'll never forget, honestly. Aries has been pretty awesome too. I think it's a shame he hasn't really had as much hype around him as Nakamura. He kind of came in around the same time, and unfortunately Nakamura's debut hype kind of has overshadowed Aries, unfortunately. But I think Austin Aries can fit nicely into this NXT roster. I think, he's really talented, really awesome. I could potentially see maybe this resulting in Austin Aries' heel turn, in the fact of like how, there's all this hype around Shinsuke Nakamura, but Austin Aries is the greatest of all, the greatest man to ever live, that sort of thing. But I do think Nakamura will get the win. I think they're probably building up Nakamura to face Samoa Joe at Takeover Brooklyn this year, which I think will be an amazing matchup. But I think they're building Nakamura to go to the NXT Championship. So I think they'll probably have him beat Aries here. But this could probably result in an Aries heel turn. So maybe there's a chance Aries will win by heel shenanigans, but I don't really see that happening. I see him probably turning heel after this match. Maybe, who knows, maybe Bobby Roode will come in, they'll form a tag team. I think that'd be pretty awesome as a heels, who knows. but I do think Nakamura will go over here. Next match will be the Women's Championship, Nia Jax versus Asuka. I think this is... I'm not really that hyped for this match, and I think maybe because I'm just not that invested in Nia Jax yet. I mean, I do really like Asuka. I think she's incredible. You know, she's just an awesome talent. Nia Jax is okay, but I really would have liked to have seen a rematch with Bayley here. But you know what? I'm not going to complain too much because, I mean, Bayley, I think soon will come up to the main roster, probably after SummerSlam. But this could actually be a really good match. I do think, you know, Bayley carried Nia Jax to a pretty good match at Takeover London. So I definitely think Asuka can carry Nia to a really good match as well here in Takeover the End. I do think Asuka will retain. I just think Nia Jax is a bit too green at the minute, and Asuka just got the belt. So it would be pretty pointless if, you know, they gave Asuka the belt and then just had to drop it to Nia Jax. I just don't think Nia Jax is ready, and I think Asuka is probably going to go on a nice dominant reign as NXT Women's Champion, which I think will be pretty awesome, actually, not going to lie. So now, finally, we get on to the main event of the show, and this should be really awesome, actually. Samoa Joe versus Finn Balor for the NXT Championship inside a steel cage. And I'm really looking forward to this. I think this could be an awesome match. You know, they had a really, really awesome match at TakeOver Dallas. I really enjoyed that match. I thought it was 4.5 stars. I know a lot of people didn't give it that rating, but I personally really enjoyed it. I know the blood caused the match to kind of slow down because they kept trying to interfere, but I still really love the match. I thought apart from those parts, the pacing's actually really awesome. Joe looked like a beast in that matchup. You know, I think it makes logical sense for Samoa Joe to go over, really. I think Finn Balor's time is up in NXT. I just don't see him lasting that much longer. He'll probably come up to the main roster and probably go into some sort of main roster feud, whether that's with the club or whatever. I just don't really see that. You know, I just don't think. You know, he's done all he can in NXT. He's been the champion. You know, he's done that sort of thing. I just think his time's done, really. So I just think they're gonna continue with Samoa Joe as the champ, which is probably for the best because I just think, you know, he's a guy who has just come in. You know, he's been very dominant. I mean, probably apart from the losses to Balor, but I just think it would be best for everyone, and I just think I'm really digging Samoa Joe at the minute. I think he's an awesome NXT champion, and I think he could hold the belt for, you know, a fair amount of time. Probably end up losing it to someone like Nakamura, but you know, whatever. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. It's my predictions. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. And thanks for watching, guys.